So the question comes up frequently of how do you find the time to balance side hustles with a full-time job? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you how I do it. Hey everybody, it's Brian from A Life After Layoff, and today I want to share with you some tips on how I manage my time balancing side hustles and full-time employment. Now, if you watch my channel on any level, you know that I talk about side hustles and the importance of multiple streams of income as a way of protecting yourself in the event of economic uncertainty, adverse employment decisions, layoffs, etc. And what I find is a lot of people are saying that they don't have the time to balance a full-time job and side hustles at the same time. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some time management techniques that I use myself that can help you with your side hustle, but also can help you with a full-time job. So if you're just looking to get better at managing your life, your work, whatever it might be, these can apply on any walk of life. So one of the first things that I had to do was I had to figure out where I was spending my time. So I had to look at all of the tasks that needed to get done in a week, and I had to start carving up how much time each one of those tasks would take. So I had things like weekly targets for how many videos I wanted to create and edit. And the same thing goes for my TikTok channel. I also have content for my LinkedIn, and I also have blog content. And then of course, I do a lot of private one-on-one coaching sessions. And admittedly, it's a struggle to continue to grow all of those channels at the same time. So that's why my daily prioritization becomes such a critical part of my business strategy. And I actually did an informal time study where I looked at how I spent an evening of work and how much time was spent doing non-value added things. And then I ruthlessly cut down on those tasks. What I realized was there were certain days where I was spending 70 to 80% of my time doing non-value added stuff. Of course, it's easy to go on a binge of YouTube videos or going down a rabbit hole of research that's really not adding value or maybe isn't necessary at the time that I'm doing it. So as a creator and as a creative person in general, we tend to get into creative modes where most of my best work happens in very short stints. And so what I needed to do in order to get into that creative mode is I needed to learn to get rid of the distractions, because if I got into a creative mode and I was distracted, it could sometimes take me an hour or longer to get back into that mode. So I actually made an experiment on something. I decided to take my phone and put it in another room. So I'm only having my phone in here for the purpose of this video, but I would recommend that you try that. Put your phone in another room for a few hours while you're trying to be super productive, whether it's at your job or a side hustle or whatever else, and count the number of times that you go to reach for it to just do some random scrolling. You'll be actually pretty shocked at how reliant or how addicted you are to your device. And it scared me how much I was doing it. Furthermore, I also try to do a lot of my video recording when my kids are in bed, because a lot of times they'll come into my office while I'm recording, play with my camera settings, and then they'll want to come and visit. And it's hard for me to say no to that. So I try to record videos when I know I'm not going to be interrupted. In fact, I'm recording this video at midnight. So I don't recommend that you necessarily do that, but that's how I do my business. And this is usually my best time to get work done. And of course, there's my favorite task, which is editing videos, which could take me 7 or 8 hours. Producing one video typically takes me 3 full evenings to do. One day to write the script, one day to record it, and then one day to do the editing and then uploading. And that's in addition to all the other things I need to do for my business. So you can see how critical it is for me to be able to manage my time very effectively. So removing my phone and trying to plan around other distractions has immensely helped, but there's actually another technique that I use that is really clever. It's called the pomodoro technique. So basically what it is being hyper productive for a short period of time. That means a 25-minute segment. So basically what you're doing is you're picking the task that you need to do and you're setting a 25-minute timer. You're going full force without any distractions on that task for 25 minutes. So at the end of that 25 minutes, then you put whatever you're doing down, you take a step back from your work and you actually leave the workspace. Give yourself a 5-minute break and then rinse and repeat. And after 4 of those sessions, then you give yourself a longer break of between 15 to 30 minutes. Critical thing is before you sit down to do your first session, get all of your normal distractions out of the way. Take a biological break if you need one, go get a drink of water, blow your nose, do whatever it is that you need to do that would normally distract you. Put your phone in the other room and then sit down and go through these little mini marathons. But you're giving yourself these planned breaks so that you're only working for short stints, and you'll find yourself to be much more productive. The next thing that came out of looking at all my wasteful habits is I decided what was truly important to me. So I actually started to set goals and decided what was a manageable and reasonable expectation. Not everything is going to get done, and I had to be okay with that. And to be perfectly honest with you, some of my stuff has suffered. I've not been able to grow certain avenues. In fact, somebody just asked me about whether or not I have a newsletter, and frankly, there's just not enough time in the day. I would love to have one, but I just don't have enough time to do it. The next thing I've done is I've created a daily schedule and I've learned to really stick with it. So I have a whiteboard that I stare at on the other end of this camera, and each day I have certain tasks that need to get accomplished. And once they're accomplished, I put a line through them and move on to the next one. In addition to the whiteboard, I've learned that I need to rely on other productivity tools to keep me on point. For example, I absolutely live and die by my Google Calendar. I use that calendar for everything, all of my scheduling, and I'll set reminders on there for when things are due and when I'm falling behind schedule. Of course, I've created Excel spreadsheets to track various aspects of my business, and that also keeps me organized. Another must-have tool that I use in my business for time savings is Wondershare's PDF element. If you're not familiar with it, PDF element is an intuitive, powerful PDF solution that simplifies the way people create, edit, and collaborate documents. So essentially, when I create a PDF document, I can share it with my clients and they can edit it in real time. It makes things so much easier. It saves so much time, and nothing more frustrating than getting a PDF that you can't edit. You have to figure out a way to download it, print it, sign it, then scan it, then re-upload it. It's just a huge pain. I found myself wasting a ton of time doing things like that. So PDF Element is an absolute dream for the business owner, because not only does it help me simplify my business, but it's also very cost effective. I had looked at using Adobe's Acrobat, but it was really expensive. So if you're somebody in human resources or sales, or maybe you're that small business owner who does a lot of PDFs, you should really check out this tool. Now that I've installed PDF Element, I want to show you some really interesting features. And I will open up my consultation form. So this is when somebody signs up for a one-on-one coaching session. I send them this consultation form, and essentially it's my onboarding. Now there are some areas that I ask people to fill out, and what I can do with this program is I can actually create text boxes for them to be able to write right in my PDF. So go ahead and just click on that, and now there's an editable text field. I can continue to do that throughout my form. There's also some features where I can do callouts. So say maybe I'm reviewing somebody's resume, I can put a call out and I can type in whatever I want there and it just calls it out. I can also do freeform, which is kind of fun. Don't mind my drawing skills. But if I wanted to get rid of it as well, I can erase. And there you go, it's completely gone. Another cool feature that I use is the convert function, which allows me to actually take my PDF and turn it into another document type. So if I click on this convert tab, I can export this now to a Word document, to Excel, to PowerPoint, to an image, or a variety of other things. Another super useful thing is the ability to combine multiple PDFs. If we go over to the Tools tab and we click on Combine Files, you can actually take a bunch of single PDFs and merge them into one file. Super handy feature. And of course, I can add my watermark to anything. I can crop and I can compress the files. I can also protect my PDFs by putting passwords on there, and I can also put electronic signatures. Another nice thing in the spirit of time management is there's some templates that you can use, and in particular, you might be interested in using the planner feature. So there's pre-loaded templates for planners, and there's also to-do lists. So it's a great way to keep on top of your time management. So if you're looking to increase your productivity, I highly recommend you check out Wondershare's PDF element. The next thing I try to do, and admittedly I haven't been super great with this, but I'm getting better, it's learning when to delegate and or outsource. So I've been looking more and more at outsourcing tasks like video editing and delegating things like managing my schedule to my wife, who has been super helpful behind the scenes. I've been a little reluctant to let go of other aspects of my business, but I know in order to grow, I'm probably gonna have to do that. So if you know any good editors or SEO people, leave a comment below. Final thing that I do, and this one admittedly has taken me a little bit of time to learn as well, is to celebrate my accomplishments. So in the beginning, when I talked about making goals, once I achieve a goal, I try to step back and celebrate it and give myself a breather. And there are some planned breaks that I've taken, because if you don't manage yourself correctly, you can find yourself burned out very quickly and lacking motivation. And you may not have noticed recently, but I have actually put a little bit more space in between my videos, just because, simply put, I'm getting burned out. And yes, I've had aggressive growth goals, but I've had to learn to say that it's okay if I don't reach them on the same timeline that I had originally set, because ultimately your mental health is worth more than that, and I value my family life. So that's how I've been managing my time and my productivity. And so I would suggest, if you're somebody that is struggling, to try some of these techniques, because it'll help you start to accomplish things, especially if you're a bit of a procrastinator like I can be. Again, this is designed to help juggle your side hustles, but it can also help your day job and your personal life. So hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you have any suggestions on how you manage time, would love to hear from them. So leave a comment below. But if you need more help on your job search, that's something that I specialize in. And I've got a website called A Life After Layoff, and I've got some training resources to help you write resumes and get through the interview process and all that kind of stuff. So you can check that out in my bio or in the link in this video. Appreciate you watching. Hopefully you'll be managing your time better, and we will see you on the next one.